Good morning. This is Miss Pulliam. Welcome to Library Special. And this is Library Special for week 8, and it's for students in kindergarten through second grade. So, welcome. Okay, I've got some fun for us today. First things first, we always go over our words from the last time, our old words. So, we're going to go over them right now. If you are buoyant or something is buoyant, and this is from Penguin Problems, the story we did. That means what? They can float, exactly. 12 of something, and that's from the good egg that we read. 12 of something is a dozen. If something is delicious, like mommy's meal, and you can tell her it was delectable. Gander. Take a gander over there. Gander means look. Dilemma. I had a dilemma this morning. I had a dilemma, which is a problem. Should I wear this shirt or another shirt? Big problem, huh? Contented. If you're content, you are happy, you're at ease, you're content. I feel warm and content today. Now, our new vocabulary for the book that we're going to be doing right now, and let me first tell you that the book we're doing now, we're done with Jory John for now, and we're moving on to Fractured Fairy Tales. Okay? We'll do the words and then we'll talk about what a fractured fairy tale is. The word steed, S-T-E-E-D, steed. And that is a horse being ridden or for riding. It's a riding horse. Squire. Squire is an attendant or companion. Savory is salty or spicy rather than sweet. It's savory. A tassel, a loosely hanging cord, threads or material knotted on one end, the tassel. Bloat, make or become swollen with fluid or gas. It was bloated. A tad is just a small amount. Perchance is one word. Perchance, put it together, perchance. It means perhaps, okay, or by some chance. So perhaps, perchance. And the last one is billow, B-I-L-L-O-W. Not pillow, but billow. And billow means it's like fabric filled with air and swelling outward, like a billowing skirt. Okay. All right, let me just do that. Okay, so the story we're reading today, my friends, is there was an old dragon who swallowed a knight. And I think you're really going to enjoy this story. Okay, so here's the story. It's like one of the There Was an Old Lady books, so these are just so much fun. The author is Penny Parker Klosterman, and the author writes the story. Very good. And the illustrator is the artist, and the illustrator is Ben Mantle. All right, let's see. There was an old dragon who swallowed a knight. I don't know why he swallowed the knight. And here you see, there's the knight. All right. I don't know why he swallowed the knight. It's not polite. There was an old dragon who swallowed a steed. Remember, we said that's a horse that you ride, that galloped around at a terrible speed. Oh, how the dragon wished it would stop. The clippity, 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 clop. He swallowed the steed right after the knight. I don't know why he swallowed the knight. It's not polite. There was an old dragon who swallowed a squire. We said he was the attendant, the companion, who hollered, "That's hot," when the dragon breathed fire. He swallowed the squire to calm the steed that galloped around at a terrible speed. He swallowed the steed right after the knight. I don't know why he swallowed the night, but it's not polite. There was an old dragon who swallowed a cook, a savory cook, in his recipe book. We have a very hungry dragon here. He swallowed the cook to fatten the squire. He swallowed the squire to calm the steed. He galloped around at a terrible speed. He swallowed the steed right after the night. I don't know why he swallowed the night. It's not polite. There was an old dragon who swallowed a lady. It seems quite shady. He'd swallow a lady. He swallowed the lady to rule the cook. He swallowed the cook to fatten the squire. He swallowed the squire to calm the steed that galloped around at a terrible speed. He swallowed the steed right after the night. I don't know why he swallowed the night. It's not polite. No, I would think it's very polite swallowing everybody and everything. All right. There was an old dragon who swallowed a castle, swallowed it down to the last golden tassel. Oh my goodness, look at this. There was an old dragon who swallowed a moat. And a moat, for those who don't know, is a body of water, and a moat is usually around a castle. Okay, it's a body of water around the castle. So he swallowed the moat, all that water. He guzzled and gulped it right down his throat. What do you think's going to happen? Think about that. What's going to happen? Oh my, with all that water, he started to bloat. That means he started getting big, and that's when the dragon roared, and I quote, "Okay, enough, I've had enough. More than enough of swallowing this stuff. Maybe I've been a tad, just a little, impolite. Perchance I should only have swallowed the night." Perchance means perhaps. And look at him now. All right. I think it has a crazy ending. You ready? So he burped out the moat that caused him to bloat. He burped out the castle along with the tassel. He burped out the lady who found that quite shady. He burped out the cook in his recipe book. He burped out the squire, now blackened with fire. So you can see blackened with fire. There he is right there, his tush. He's got the fire coming, the smoke coming from it. So he burped them all out. Then, with all the power that he could amass, the dragon burped out one last billow of gas. Brrr. And with terrible speed, he burped out the steed. What's the steed? The riding horse, yes. Clippity, clippity, clop. Clippity, clippity, clop. Stop. It was an old dragon who swallowed a night. Ah, just right. Good night. And that is the end. Kind of a silly story. And this is what we call a fractured fairy tale, if I didn't talk about that beforehand. And a fractured fairy tale, we learned last week, is a fairy tale that is rewritten. It's broken and it's put back together, and it's usually funny. Okay, and there are a lot of different ones, so we'll be reading quite a few of them. Let's see if we remember. I have these cards, sequencing. Okay, so what we're going to do is see which one goes in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. What happened first? Okay. So why don't I put them up here? Can you see that? Okay. And I'll put tape on them and we can decide what goes first, second, third, and fourth. And I'll read them to you guys. Now, let's see if we remember. And let me turn you so you can see. Hello. Okay. So let's start with this one. He burped it all out. He burped everything out. When did that happen in the story? Was that the first thing that happened? Was it in the middle of the story? No, it was at the end of the story, wasn't it? That's when he burped everything out. So we're going to put this on the bottom here. Okay. Now, let's see. What about he swallowed a steed? Do we remember what a steed is? It's a riding horse. Okay. So he swallowed the steed was it more at the beginning? So we're going to put this up here. We can move them around if we need to. Okay. We've got another one. He swallowed a lady. Now look at the ones we have so far. We've got a steed, and we've got where he burped it all. Do you remember when he swallowed the lady? He swallowed the lady after the steed. Okay. And we have he swallowed a castle, and he swallowed a moat. We know that the moat was not right at the beginning because he had everything in him, and that's where he bloated, right? And he spit it all out. So we know that the moat is going to go near the end here. Okay. And he swallowed the castle. So we move these up a little. We know that goes there. So we know the sequence, the order of the events of the story. He swallowed the steed. Then he swallowed a lady. He swallowed a castle, a moat, and then he burped it all out. We saw that. I hope you enjoyed that book. It was a fun story. And I've got another story for you. These up here. Maybe before we do the next story, we should take a moment, as we like to do, and we're going to stretch, because you know how I feel about stretching. Stretching is good for us, so we're going to stretch a few minutes, and then we're going to go on to the next story. Okay. Keep these together. Okay, let's do some stretching. And you can stretch while you're sitting, you can stretch while you're standing. It's good for your back. It feels good. So let's get our hands all the way up. Okay. Wave them. Ah. Okay. Now let's grab something up high. Grab that star. There we go. Bring it down to your lap. Good. Excuse me. All right. Arms out. Let's do this. Here we go. Take your arms, put them in. Now, while they're here, I want you to do, and you can see, is take them back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that feels so good in your back. And it makes you feel recharged again. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we are going to read another Froggy book. We did one a couple weeks ago. Thank you, ma'am. Did one a couple weeks ago, and I've had a lot of people requesting doing more. So we're at 14 minutes. Perfect. We're going to read Froggy Rides a Bike. We read Froggy Goes to School. Now we're going to read Rides a Bike. Thank you, ma'am. No problem. Thank you. Froggy looked out the window. His shiny new bike gleamed in the sun. Yippee, he said. Hope he wears a helmet on his new bike. And he flopped outside and he hopped on his bike. Flop, flop, bing. And he took off. He pedaled so fast that soon he was going about 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Hi, darling. Thank you. Wowza, huh? All right. Do you notice he's still in his pajamas? It's okay, okay. He pedaled so fast that soon he was flying high in the sky. Whee! I know we all like to ride our bikes, especially when the weather gets cooler. I'm looking forward to it. And there was his dad, far, far below, calling, Froggy! Froggy stopped flying. He was falling, falling. Because whatever goes up must come down. He woke up and rubbed his eyes. Rise and shine, Froggy, said his dad. Today's the day we get your bike. Yippee! Cried Froggy. He bounced out of bed and flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. So I think that might have been a dream, going 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? Okay, he's very excited. Let's go, said Froggy. Okay, said Dad, but first you have to get dressed. Very important. Oops, said Froggy, and he flopped back to his bedroom to get dressed. Zip, zoop, zup, zut, zut, zut. So he's getting himself dressed. So that was a dream. He was dreaming about his new bike that he's very, very excited about. At the bike shop, Froggy said, I want a trick bike. But Froggy, said his dad, you have to learn to ride a bike first. That makes sense. Okay, said Froggy, but I get to pick it out. That one, too big, said his dad. How about that one? Too expensive, said his dad. That one, said Froggy. It's the bike of my dreams. Okie dokie, said Dad. Yippee! Cried Froggy. My very first bike. But now I need a horn and a bell. Both, said Dad. Okie dokie. And Froggy got a horn and a bell. Honk, honk, tingling. Do you remember when you got your first bike and learned how to ride it? Back at home, everybody gathered around to watch all of Froggy's friends. All of Froggy's friends were there, even Frogalina. Okay, Froggy, said his dad. Now hop on and pedal like mad. I won't let go. Okay, said Froggy, but first you have to put my horn on and my bell. Then I'll ride my bike. And as you see, he is wearing a helmet. Good job, Froggy. Froggy's dad put the horn on. Honk, honk. Now hop on and pedal like mad, he said. I won't let go. Okay, said Froggy, but you still have to put my bell on. Then I'll ride my bike. Froggy's dad put his bell on. Ting-a-ling! Now hop on and pedal like mad, he said. I won't let go. So Froggy hopped onto the bike, flop, flop, flang, and pedaled like mad. Honk, honk, ting, ting, zoom, zoom, zoom. But then Froggy's dad let go. Froggy! He yelled. What? Hold on tight. Yikes, cried Froggy. His bike zigged and zagged and wobbled. He was falling, falling. Thump! He fell on his bottom. Frogalina giggled. Froggy's dad helped him up and said, Good job, Froggy. Now hop on again and pedal like mad. I won't let go. Okay. Froggy rubbed his bottom, rubbed his tush, and hopped on his bike, flop, flop, bing, and pedaled like mad, honk, honk, tingling, zoom, zoom. But Froggy's dad, he let go again. Froggy's friend shouted, Go, Froggy, go! Yikes, cried Froggy. His bike zigged and his bike zagged and it wobbled. He was falling. But he didn't give up. He yelled, "Whee!" And he rode his bike up and down until dinner. Yay, good for Froggy. Everything we do takes patience to learn something new, and it takes patience and pride because you can do it. You need confidence, and we talked about confidence last week. All of Froggy's friends had gone home except for Froggalina. "Watch me," said Froggy. "No hands." And Froggy rode his bike with no hands. Not a good idea. Right smack into a tree. Thump! And fell on his rump. His rump is his tushy. "Oops," cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Froggalina laughed. At dinner, Froggy couldn't sit down. "What's the matter?" asked Mom. "My butt's too sore," he said. "Froggy got a boo-boo," cried Polly. But in the morning, Froggy hopped on his bike, flop, flop, bing, honk, honk, ting-a-ling, zoom, 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 and and popped the wheelies. Oh my goodness, he's popping wheelies. I think he needs to just learn how to drive the bike first, don't you? All day long. Boing, boing, boing. And that is the end. So he had a lot of practice. And practice, we say makes perfect. There is no perfect. But practice will help you in anything that you're trying to do. Okay. So that's week 8. And we talked about a fractured fairy tale. You take it apart. Let's just talk about that for a second. When you think of a fracture, if you heard the word fracture before, a fracture, you'll think of a broken bone. You fractured your bone, it's a slight break, they have to put it back together. That's what they're doing with the story. They're just taking it apart and adding different characters, excuse me, and they're changing it up a bit. And that could be good. Okay, we're at 22 minutes. And before I go, I know I tell you this all the time, I'm going to tell you again how important it is to read aloud. Reading in front of a classroom full of your peers, the other students, is not easy. And when we're young, we don't have the loud voice like Miss Pulliam has. And this, let me tell you, I worked hard to get this loud voice. But when we read in class, we want everybody to be able to hear us to the back of the room. So if you practice reading to your pet, reading to your dog, your kitty, read to your mom while she's cooking dinner, of course, make sure you tell her it was delectable. Excuse me. It's important to read. You can read to a pet. You can read aloud at home, to a stuffed animal, to a sibling. I would love for you guys to send me pictures, email me pictures of you reading to your pet. Tell your parents, hey, Miss Pulliam would like to put a picture of me in the newsletter of me reading to my pet. And then you could email them to me at lpulliam@winthropcharter.org. That's LPULLIAM at winthropcharter.org. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this silly story and the Froggy story, of course. Keep reading, make good choices, and be kind. And I'll see you soon. Bye, my friends.